Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Elemental Weather Report for February 2026. For the first time in a long time, I am indoors. It's just way too cold outside. I'm recording this in the middle of a blizzard. I draw the line at like 15 degrees, but somehow the podcast room that I'm in is also still freezing. So cold no matter what, but I want to bring this elemental weather report to you. The dominant element for February is fire, and ether is coming in as a secondary element. Now, this is a little bit of a change from the year overall because in 2026 as a whole, ether is a dominant element, and it's very symbolic that ether is secondary this month. I'm getting divine intel that this is a very topsy-turvy month. It's going to be challenging, I won't lie, but the good news is that challenging doesn't always mean bad, and topsy-turvy doesn't always mean disaster. So we'll get into it here. My name is Erin Gabriella. I am an elemental magician and enchantress, sound healer, singer, and Akashic record reader. Check out my Patreon and subscribe if you like my content. I am trying to grow. So let's start with potential challenges and we'll end with highs. So, with February, this topsy turvy energy can manifest as people who are unhealed or who are very much struggling emotionally, psychologically, vibrationally with all the changes that are going on in the world, acting out in ways that are frustrating or that may be strange and shocking. This energy has already kind of come in. I noticed it a little bit towards the end of January. People having outbursts, people flying into a rage, sometimes over ridiculous things that don't even matter. Expect that to continue into February for some people. Oftentimes, they'll be lashing out at people who probably have a brighter vibrational future than they do, right? So we can always offer compassion because really you have to be quite miserable to lash out in a way where it boils over and gets on the people around you. So just know if you happen to see anyone do that in February, that is really their pain that's so overwhelming that they can't hold it inside. And do your best to offer what compassion you can, but also be mindful of boundaries for yourself, right? Because some of you have been entertaining situations, people, dynamics that are totally wrong for you. And you've been given hints that it's wrong, but it's not like landing, like you haven't made the changes necessary yet to move away from those things. And sometimes you just gotta kind of get hit over the head with a hammer and have it really hurt before you make the necessary change. So some of these topsy-turvy energies that can manifest in shocks, surprises, challenges, or outbursts are going to really drive home the point that, okay, whatever the situation is, it's not for me. And if I stay, it's going to get worse. So let's get the heck out of Dodge. So this is where the fire energy comes in as a dominant and very helpful element this month because fire is one of the best elements to call on when you need to set boundaries with people. And fire is one of my favorite elements to work with when we're talking about what we commonly consider to be the third dimension, right? Or like the more challenging, difficult aspects of being on earth, because fire is really the element that will just help you push through, say no even aggressively if you have to, and just put yourself first and just suffer no fools. So it's a very good that February has fire as its dominant element. That's really going to help us with some of the challenges and some of the topsy-turvy energy. I'm getting the fire of the heart, almost like a fire wall that goes as a protection around your heart so that you'll do what you need to do to create continual loving spaces for yourself and move away from places that are not loving. That's really what these shakeups are designed to do, for better or for worse. Some of these outbursts are also designed to, as I said, flip the script, right? There's some of us who are going to a brighter, healthier future. And this jostling, like this topsy turvy energy of February, can manifest as these people who just want to flip you into their vibration and not really into the lighter, brighter energies that you are really destined for. Make sure that you don't get dragged into negativity or that you start out positive and end up, in a negative space because somebody else has done something. This is really going to challenge you to learn how to be the master of your own emotional state and to not allow other outside forces to influence how you feel and the level of happiness that you show up with. So that's something that the fire element is really going to be assisting with, helping us doggedly and with determination continue to be happy no matter what, or at least try. This topsy turvy energy can also look at like shakeups and really any area. It could be, I mean, surprises galore. In February, it could look like shakeups in your job, as we mentioned, relationships. On a macro level, these shakeups could look like any of the hot messedness that you see in the news, right? We're used to it by now. But February could bring some very it almost just feels like another day, another shitstorm. But February for some of you could bring a more shocking news, right? From anything from Epstein to Diddy related stuff to aliens, you name it. And war, I hope not, but I'm just saying it could just be crazy and explosive. But I think we're used to that, but expect that trend to continue. I just want to shout out that a lot of the craziness that you see in the news is designed to be a distraction, a diversion, to get you hyper focused on the negativity and the evil in the world so that you don't have time to focus on the fact that there are good people, that you don't have time to focus on cultivating your own relationship and within, working with the elements within yourself. It's all designed to get you glued onto the screen, like, oh my God, can you believe it? Like watching, scrolling, and not tapping into the happiness, the positivity that is in front of you. So I highly recommend that February would be a good month to take a detox. February would be a good month to, even if you don't completely detox, find a way to cultivate a certain level of healthy emotional detachment so that you can see what's going on. You can have compassion for it where necessary, but it doesn't completely destroy your own inner world to the point where you can't function, you can't smile, you're super angry because of what you see out there. Just understand that your happiness and your joy matters too, and to continue to cultivate that in tandem with honoring the fact that there's situations in your life or even in the world at large that absolutely aren't like that at all. It's about being able to hold these two dynamics and find peace with all of it. That's really what the month of February is about. And the ether element is really going to help you do that. The ether element is going to bring that higher wisdom. It's going to bring that higher knowledge. It's going to bring that holy detachment, or almost that 0 point kind of a frequency where you can see all the good, bad, and ugly and honor it and accept it, but somehow remain at peace within the self. That's really what the ether element is here to do at its best. So, with meditation, through ritual, this is a perfect time this month, especially to use chanting, working with the power of the voice, the fire and the air within the voice to speak and surround yourself with holy sound. Like February is a really good month to do that. So now let's talk about the positive. Because we talked about the negative, let's end on a high. The topsy turvy energy of February is also going to bring potentially some very beautiful surprises where something that wasn't working, that was challenging, all of a sudden gets flipped around and turned into positive. So, this topsy turvy energy is working both ways. I like to call them snow globe moments. That's what I like to call them because it reminds me of when you have a snow globe and it's so beautiful and then you shake it and everything goes crazy, but like it resettles and it's just as beautiful as it was. That's really the energy that February can bring to us. All of these shakeups, the ones that are obviously positive and the ones that aren't, are ultimately leading towards a resettling into a new, beautiful reality. So just remember that as we go through the month and any other challenges that you might face throughout the month or this year. The best advice that I can give you is to focus on yourself and to focus on your magic in the month of February. It's so important that you learn to cultivate a sense of peace within the self. So call on the ether element. I can give you a brief invocation that we can do together. So if you repeat after me, it goes, I invoke the element of ether to settle my heart and mind through all shakeups and challenge. So just repeat that as many times as you need in meditation throughout the day if it gets crazy, and understand that there is beauty and peace within yourself, that the antidote to all the chaos that you see outside is to go further within and to love and to honor yourself in that way. So that's it. I love you so much. Again, my name is Erin Gabriella. Check out my Patreon if you want to do rituals with me live every month. I give spells and teach you guys how to cast your own tailor made spell. I also do sound healings as well and guided meditations on my Patreon page. So definitely check those out and subscribe if you like my content. And I also offer sessions as well. So check that out on the links in my bios. I love you so much.